introduction.
Hi, we're Negative Bliss. We're coming to you live from the Democratic Republic of Montclair, New Jersey. We're being interviewed today by the Schaden Collective. So my name is Jonathan Meyer. I play the drums, and I am the band Curmudgeon.
My name is Steve Weiner. I sing, I play guitar.
My name is Jonathan Hernandez. I play bass and a little bit of vocals.
And I'm Paul Stryak, and I play 8-string guitar.
And vocals.
Your name's not Paul Schreiber.
Nah,
All this time.
we've been over this.
It's only been a few years.
All right, so how did we all meet? The long version or the short version? What do we think?
Go with
the
long
medium
version.
version.
We got
Medium
time.
version? All right. I would say around 20, I mean, it was like pre-COVID. I was looking to get back into music after about 20 years or so of not playing the drums. And I put out social media want ad, in essence, in the town that I live in, town that we all live in, looking for like-minded people who just wanted to jam. And I got 0 responses. Then COVID hit, and isolation was probably even magnified at that point in time. And then once a lot of the lockdowns ended in I guess it was not even until 2022, right? Oh, so it's well past lockdowns ending. I was discussing with my wife about like the need to get back into music. And I put out another one of those social media want ads, and I got actually like 38 responses. And I don't know if it was because COVID had hit and everybody was just looking to get out, but the majority of the responses were from spouses and wives who wanted their husbands seemingly out of the house. So it just so happened that Steve and John and Paul's spouses reached out to me and just gave me their numbers. And lo and behold, we all actually had some similar tastes in music, which I did not expect, particularly because we're all, I would say our listening tastes are traditionally metal, but obviously more than that. But just finding people who have like-minded musical interests was exciting enough. And we eventually met. And, from there, mosquito just went in your drink and your whiskey. Just ruined your 18-year-old whiskey. Is it 18 years old?
18 years old.
Delightful.
Awful. And then we organized a meetup, and we met. And I think Steve, John, and I met before Paul came in. And when Paul showed up,
Sealed the deal.
sealed the deal. It was like the angel, the most angelic choir you could possibly imagine sang from the heavens when he walked into the restaurant with his black leather jacket and his attitude. We were taken. And we just started jamming. And I think we just started jamming with covers. We were playing a Dillinger Escape Plan cover. We played He Is Legend cover, Zao cover,
Weezer.
a Weezer cover. I mean, honestly, my goal in this entire thing was to just find 3 individuals who wanted to play the Weezer Blue album front to back.
Let's
and
do
just
it.
become Northern New Jersey's preeminent Blue album band. But
So we're failing.
right.
We still do it. We should still do it.
We should still do it. I mean, but we just decided that we needed to be artistic and creative, and obviously follow our muse. So what started originally just playing covers to see if we had chemistry ended up developing into writing together. And while it's while we practice, we try to practice weekly, life gets in the way, and so we happened to put some songs together over a period of time and released it on our EP.
Make sure you look as far away from the microphone while you're talking.
I would say our creative vision is to not be pure. So in that respect, it's kind of easy because we all bring very different things to the table based on the different kinds of music that we all like. And we also have made a point to not really tie ourselves to one strict genre as a band. Anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, we like all kinds of stuff. So why limit ourselves to having to sound like one thing? Let's just play what we like, and usually we bounce it off the other three, and somebody will say like, no, that sucks, or yeah, that's great, and kind of go from there.
Yeah, I think one of the inside jokes of the band is just play it good. And I think that's just what we live by, you know, something that sounds good to us, that we enjoy, not being, you know, restricted by genre norms. Just doing what we want.
I mean, I do think that if there's one common thread through the stuff that we've either released or are in the absolutely slow process of writing, is that I do think that there's a moment in each of our songs where there is this sort of emotional release, if you will. You know, we've not, I don't know if we described it this way or somebody else, but like a cathartic emotional release. And so whether that comes through a part of a song that's either black metal or post metal or I don't know, doom EDM, we haven't gotten there yet, but like, you know, whatever it might be, if it's got that sort of emotional release, I think then it fits within the confines of our sound. And so
I feel like that's also the barometer for when we know something's written to the standard that we want it to be written to. When we all feel that collectively, we know that like the songwriting has gotten to where we want it to get to.
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like we kind of go for negative bliss too. Like there's a contrast, juxtaposition of negative and bliss. Like, so we try to have some negative, darker, heavier, sludgier parts and some blissful, softer,
Uplifting.
maybe parts. And
Yeah.
cool. Contrast, tension, movement. Journal.
Band that has
Misery Signals.
how many listeners?
Dance, Gavin, Dance.
No.
Glass Jaw. Glass Casket. Between the Buried and the Into the Moat.
Okay.
Cephalic Carnage, the Red Chord.
Hopeful.
There are Paul's answers.
Yeah.
The Reign of Kindo.
Hopeful.
And it kind of depends on if we're talking about specific bands
Black Rain.
or something
Hopeful.
more broadly speaking.
I think Parenthood is a big, I guess, literal inspiration for us, right?
Paranoid?
Parenthood.
Oh, Parenthood.
Yes,
Parenthood.
Or yeah,
Paranoia.
or like a
But paranoia.
Paranoia.
Parenthood breeds paranoia, yeah.
like a kind of getting away from parenthood though.
Yeah,
to
I
an
mean,
extent.
I
Not in a
don't-
negative way,
Right.
Definitely the
No,
crown.
definitely in a positive way.
Definitely the crown.
but you know, it's easy to get like sucked into parenthood and letting it become like everything you are.
Definitely.
And all of us,
Montage and MVP.
except for Paul, who has a new kid, all of us have older kids.
New kid.
And when the band started, we were all feeling kind of burnt out on parenthood and needed to get back into music somehow.
Still am. Still am.
So that's a big inspiration.
Yeah, ironically, Steve, John, and I all have kids the same age, and Paul is relatively new to parenthood, and so that obviously unites us. I think that during COVID in particular, for me, part of the reason why I sort of put out another want ad, if you will, was because I think I had gotten sucked into parenthood, like Steve had mentioned earlier. I think I sort of lost an identity. I couldn't necessarily separate work self because as a teacher, as a high school teacher, I was teaching in lockdown, and then I was going outside into my living room, and my newborn second child was there, and so there was really no separation. and I had missed music for a very, very long time, and it had been a huge part of my life for a number of years, but I had given it up to pursue career, family, and all that other stuff. And so I think part of the inspiration for me behind this band is to, it's never been to play live. It's never even necessarily to record anything. That just kind of happened by chance, but it's been to be creative with other individuals who were, to a certain extent, in the same sort of life scenario, who weren't going to look to push any sort of agenda other than playing music. And Misery Signals.
Misery Signals, X-Toll.
Dillinger Escape Plan, Cult of Luna. I prefer bands that are, generally speaking, slow because I'm not that technically
Journal.
proficient. So you mentioned
Oh,
Journal,
Journal.
I'm pretty sure.
Cephalic Carnage.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys mentioned both of those multiple times.
Paul's mentioned every band he's ever liked.
Into the Moat, Between the Buried and the...
Yeah.
Hope so.
No one's heard of any of the bands I like.
That's not true. I'm sure on
Emperor, Blackbraid.
Dotsheim Guard,
Dotham's Guard.
whatever.
Wow. Jeez.
And Dirtsburger.
Emperor.
I mean, the Emperor's good.
There's
Um,
bands that you like.
I'm mostly influenced by Am I in Trouble?
Steve's solo project, which
That's
you should all
nepotism.
interview him
played
about.
on
Signed to Bulwark Collective.
Negative Windspan as well.
Mostly Journal.
He used my acoustic guitar on tracks 5, 7, 3. Actually, I don't know. I haven't listened.
He's never heard it before.
I haven't actually listened to not only Steve's solo project. That's actually not true. I have listened to it. I actually refuse to listen to Negative Bliss. So that's my inspiration, to just create something new
And then never listen to it.
and then never listen to it again. Yeah, that's,
Wait, it's recording?
We're just gonna have to cut everything.
yeah.
I mean, hopefully it sees us, though.
Give it a whirl and then we'll
Take
a
it
look.
next. Hit us.
How do you resolve any tensions within the band, if any?
That's a tough one because, we're all married men, and there is a lot of sexual tension between us. So we just, we let it out by playing music, by playing sick-ass riffs, and, I don't think we've really had a lot of tension between us.
Yeah, we resolve it like adults.
Yeah, talk about it.
There's
Yeah.
definitely there's no pressure here. This is not a band that's like looking to speak for myself, looking to score it big. We're just looking to play music, and so I think with the lack of pressure, there's no real tension.
Mhm.
There's no real expectations. I think we've already surpassed what my expectations were. I wanted to be a freaking cover band, and so it's shaking. So it's going to be interesting when that happens. So, I mean, honestly, I don't even know what the biggest point of tension was for us. Probably when Steve was making fun of my eating habits.
Yeah, that was brutal.
My Spartan ways.
Yeah.
But it's like,
The biggest tension is when we go to a major 7 and then we gotta come around to the octave. And
no.
We've covered 3 different kinds of tension
Or
already.
when Paul has to download an app on his phone.
Ooh.
And,
Get him
and-
started.
The biggest point of tension is when we show up to a concert venue and
Yeah,
they say,
I know.
to get in, scan this QR code.
Yeah.
Okay, now that you've scanned this QR code, sign in with Google.
I was like, Paul, we're never going to get into this fucking show because you can't
Download the
app.
Google app and sign in
Bad news.
and use 2-factor authentication.
Yeah, so I would argue that there is very little tension here. So
Yes.
just watch out for the glass.
I would love to collaborate with Am I in Trouble.
Oh my god.
You already have.
He's doing that with us? Like,
Right. Oh yeah.
isn't that just built into the band?
Am I in Trouble's album
Now,
Spectrum.
He's heard it before.
Released on Bulver Collective.
And
It
Negative Wingspan on
uses
tape.
my acoustic guitar in tracks 1, 2, and 3.
Not one. I'm sorry.
Released January 6th.
Released January 6th.
January 3rd.
Already has more listens than Negative Bliss.
By a
By
mile.
a mile, yeah. Yeah.
What was the question
Is
again?
there anyone you would love to collaborate with?
Well, we tried to collaborate with Jonas Frensky from Catatonia,
Cool.
Yeah.
but he ignored our
Completely
our
ignored us.
Instagram DMs.
Does not like Negative
Not
Bliss.
surprisingly. I don't know. I mean, there's so many musicians that the four of us like that like probably any of them would be a dream
Journal.
to collaborate with.
I would love to collaborate with a drummer who's a lot better than me.
Oh my god, that's not called collaborating. It's called replacing.
I'll
was a
just
threat.
stand off to the side and be like a cup and just watch my replacement bang the shit out of the drums better than me.
This guy.
You
Wow,
know?
some image.
I feel like a lot of local bands that we're fans of would be fun to collaborate with. Burial Dance, Cowardice,
Mm-hmm.
Oldest Sea, just to name a few. Sunrot,
Sunrot would be wild.
that would be sick.
Truth be told, also, I would love to collaborate with somebody's, one of our band members' wives who can sing the shit out of a song. You know?
There you go.
Yes.
The Shryock.
She's not a
household.
tryout.
I know she's not a Shryock. I just didn't want to say her name in the interview. You didn't grant
Here's the
me
thing.
that.
She's
That's
never
fair.
going to see this. That's what I would know.
She
Paul's
does not
wife,
support.
vocal teacher. I would love to have her
Yes,
sing
she's
on
a lovely
song.
singer.
Yeah.
We tried, but she did the same thing Jonas from Catatonia did.
Ignored us.
She told me, yes, I'll record on the Lighthouse, and then she didn't.
Next time. Yeah, collaborations are great. I love collaborating, and you know, hopefully, like John was saying before, like, you know, we're not trying to get like big or have any like major ambitions, but like one of the nice positives of if we do get bigger as we keep going is that, you know, collaborations will be more and more possible and likely.
We only have the one EP out. Yeah.
Well, yeah. We have an EP out, and we have a single that's a cover that we released of Love Song by The Cure.
Which, by the way,
So-
all proceeds go to Trans Lifeline. So
Yes.
please purchase through Bandcamp and Amp Wall
Or stream the
or
holy
stream.
crap.
Or
out of
stream,
it.
yeah, stream the crap out of it. All royalties go to a great cause.
Yeah, we do not keep a penny of that.
But-
That all goes to Trans Lifeline.
Like, you know, one of the things that we made a point of doing was like not really hold ourselves to like this idea that like when a song comes out it has to be like the one quintessential version of it and that's it. So like if someone were actually like interested in us enough where they were like want to follow our like musical journey, if they were to listen to like the first single we ever released, which was the song Sunstain, that very first iteration of it is different from the version that released on the second single, The Good Life, because we, you know, realized things as we were working on the music that we could improve, and we were like, you know, why not just make it better if we're going to package it with this next single? And then when we released the EP, Everything Hurts and I'm Dying, we were like, let's take that as an opportunity to yet again improve Sunstain and The Good Life. So, you know, they're small differences, but it is kind of fun if you're like that kind of music nerd who likes seeing those little things develop within a band. Like you can hear like 3 different versions of Sunstain and 2 different versions of The Good Life, and just kind of see like how we grew even within that short amount of time between each of those releases.
Agreed.
Oh, he's gonna change the angle. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Absolutely. Yes.
I'm down.
No one in my family agrees.
Yes, for sure.
So
Listen, if you're from North Jersey or New York, the answer is no. The answer is no. You don't put pineapple on pizza. We're all from North Jersey.
I'm from
Right.
Brooklyn.
And that's why you don't belong here.
Wow. Brutal.
I'm going to
Jeez.
call this presidential administration.
My goodness.
Okay. Where can fans support you? Go to our Instagram. Go to Ampwall. Okay. Go to Bandcamp. Spotify, I guess.
And yeah, any streaming.
Yeah, any streaming service. But definitely fan us at OnlyFans.
Feet pics.
Feet pics. Steve caressing the neck of his guitar. No, go to Instagram, go to Ampwall.
Blue Sky.
Definitely buy Love Song, purchase it, because as we said earlier, all proceeds go to Trans Lifeline, and then,
Or you can go to our website.
oh yeah,
We have a
I forgot
website.
we have a website.
What's our website?
geocities.com/negative
I
bliss,
thought it was Angel Fire.
angelfire.com,
Jenga.
Dead Journal.
negativebliss.com, and that's it. You know, that's where you can support us. And hopefully we'll play a show one of these years, and you can come out and support us, and hopefully we can get some made-to-order merch also. We are Negative Bliss.
Stay tuned.
What did we say? Oh my god.
We are Negative Bliss.
Stay tuned to the
We're
Schaden
Negative
Collective.
Bliss. Stay tuned.
Paul's drunk.
We're Negative
Negative
Bliss.
Bliss.
Stay tuned to the Schaden Collective.
We're Negative Bliss.
Fuck fascism.
Wow, Paul is lit. We love it. We have been
Negative
Bliss. Stay tuned to the Schaden
Kessler.
Collective.